to TrailheaDX. Right? I'm Gillian Bruce, and I am so incredibly excited to be able to kick off this Salesforce Developer Conference with you here today. I am live from inside the keynote room because we know that so many of you are joining us online via Salesforce Live. Huge shout outs to our global viewing parties in Toronto, Paris, New York, London, and Chicago. We really appreciate you being here, and you can kind of see some of the excitement happening around me. As the keynote starts to fill in, I have an incredible lineup of trailblazers who are pioneering in entirely new ways to make Salesforce awesome. I've got trailblazers who are pioneering by building tools for developers to use. I have trailblazers who are pioneering by teaching and enabling others, and trailblazers who are actually transforming their own businesses and careers using the Salesforce platform. So my very first guest is one of those amazing trailblazers. Shawna, come on up here. First I have Shawna with me from, yeah, give it up for Shawna. Shawna is SVP of our product, I'm going to screw that up. Sorry, SVP, what are you doing? I don't know. What do you do?
I do lightning, Gillian.
I know, you're lightning. I think of Shawna as lightning, and then everything else goes out the door. So let's talk about lightning for a second. What is new and cool in lightning?
Well, the thing I'm most excited about in the summer release around lightning is performance. And we really spent a lot of time living up to lightning and lightning fast. So we invested a lot, and we're hearing from our customers that they're really seeing a real performance, 25 to 35% gain across all pages. So a real measurable and perceivable performance. We hope our customers feel the same way.
That is amazing. We want lightning to be lightning fast, and that's one of the amazing things that it can do. But this is the developer conference, Shawna. So let's talk about some of the new cool things in lightning for developers.
Absolutely. So, in summer, we released a huge number of new components, both base components for programmatic development of pages and apps, as well as experience components. And you can now use those to build standard apps, as well as our new console app framework. So you can really now develop any app. It's not just for service and sales anymore. It's a new platform, and you can build any app in that console framework. So we have 57 of those experience components, or base components, excuse me, and 49 of those experience components that are usable both programmatically and for drag and drop in the app builder.
So it's a lot of components. It's a lot of flexibility, a lot of customization that both our admins and developers can use. That is awesome. But let's talk a little bit about some other cool features, right? So I heard a little rumor that there's something cool about console. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, console is now GA, and it's a platform in a way that it never was before. So both programmatically and with drag and drop tools, you can build any kind of app with that high productivity, multi-tab workspace with all those cool productivity features like keyboard shortcuts and macros. We have a pilot of our JavaScript API, so you can do really cool programmatic things across components in a console.
That is awesome. There's a lot of lightning all the time. We love lightning. Thank you, Shawna, for joining us on the pre-show. We have some other amazing Trailblazer stories to share with you, so I'm actually going to throw you to my very special co-host, who's with us all the way from the India Developer Relations team. Kiran, take it away.
Thank you so much for the introduction, Gillian. Hello to all the Trailblazers around the globe and in the hall. Hello to all of you. This is Kiran from Salesforce Developer Relations Team India. India constitutes to 25% of the total developer community in the world. 3 of the 5 largest developer groups in the world come from India. A big shout out to Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai. And yes, I'm super proud to represent this thriving ecosystem with incredible developer potential. Speaking of developers, their newfound love is artificial intelligence with Einstein. We have today with us Sarah from the Einstein team to talk more about it. Welcome to TrailheaDX, Sarah.
Thanks.
So what's new with Einstein?
Well, as you know, Einstein is artificial intelligence for Salesforce, and it's all about making our end users smarter. So we work with the data, learn from it, build models, and then put those predictions right back into Salesforce where they can be used. We're already GA with Sales Cloud Einstein and Einstein Analytics, so if you hadn't gotten your hands on those yet, go ahead and do that now. Check it out.
Awesome. So you're a data scientist in Einstein team. What do you do exactly?
So data scientists in Einstein get to do really amazing, fun things. I think one of the things that's awesome about what our team does is it has this massive scale impact. So all the models that we build get delivered to thousands of our customers, and that's actually one of the most exciting things that a data scientist can ask for, is to have that type of impact. But in terms of the technology, we also do some really cutting-edge work to make that possible. Just to highlight one, there's this concept of AutoML, auto machine learning, which makes it possible for us to build models for each one of our customers independently. And it's all about making it unique to them in an automated way so it can scale out and take advantage of all their custom fields. So it's really exciting, really cutting-edge stuff here.
Absolutely. So what's up with Einstein for developers?
So I don't want to steal any thunder. There's some awesome stuff coming up in the keynote, and we have some sessions and demos throughout the next couple days, so you should check those out. The team itself is working really hard on putting AI into all things Salesforce, so we'll have some really amazing announcements in the future, so keep an eye out for those.
Great. So you are an AI expert, right? So how many robots do you need to screw in a light bulb?
I have no idea.
It's 3, 1 to hold the bulb and the other 2 to turn the ladder. Thank you so much for being on the show today, Sarah. Over to you, Gillian.
Thank you, Kiran. Now, I don't have an amazing joke like that to tell, but what I do have is some other amazing Trailblazers with me. Now, these Trailblazers are actually pioneering by teaching and enabling others. And I have 2 people here who are both part of this incredible program at JVS, Jewish Vocational Services. I have Katie, who's an instructor at JVS, and I have John, who's actually a graduate of the program. Katie, can you tell me a little bit about what JVS does?
Yeah, we're a local nonprofit. We've been around for 40 years, and we believe that the best way to fight poverty and income equality is by help people build skills and get great jobs. We work with youth as well as adults, and we do that in programs in banking, healthcare, and technology, which is where our Salesforce program lives.
Okay, so you say Salesforce program. I want to know more. Tell me about the Salesforce program at JVS.
Yeah, so the goal of the program is to teach our participants, many of whom have been out of work for 6 months or more, how to become certified, proficient Salesforce administrators. And I'm happy to tell you that 95% of our participants pass the exam on the first go.
That's amazing. 95% pass on the first go. That is like unheard of.
Yes. In addition to that, all of our participants complete a paid fellowship with a local company. And I'm also happy to tell you that 50% of our participants find a permanent job within 6 months of finishing the program.
That is amazing. And one of those participants is right here with us, John. John, tell us about your unique path to Salesforce and JVS and your story.
Well, Gillian, it was unique. I was badly injured in a motorcycle accident in late 2006 and was on disability up until about 2013. Found myself in a position where my tech skills were pretty sorely out of date, and my job search skills were pretty sorely out of date too. And I found JVS as a resource in the Bay Area to utilize to not only update my job search skills and my Microsoft Office skills and all that good stuff. And by the time those months of doing that ended, I found out that JVS was going to offer a Salesforce administrator training program. When I heard that, the hair on the back of my neck went up, and I said, that has my name on it. And I applied for and was accepted into the first cohort or class of the JVS Salesforce Administrator Training Program. And I graduated, and now I'm a Salesforce Certified Administrator.
That is awesome. Let's hear it for John's story. I mean, that's incredible, right? So now you're a certified administrator, and tell us about what you're doing right now and kind of what the next steps are for you. What's your future look like?
Well, right now I've had a job at a company called MD Live, a telehealth company in Redwood City for the past year. And what is next for me? Gosh, well, that's a good question. I feel strongly drawn to sharing my story. And, you know, face it, I'm a 55-year-old gay guy who's been disabled and unemployed. And I feel drawn to helping people who sort of maybe have shared some of what I've shared. And I think Salesforce can be a great equalizer for people in groups or who have characteristics, people who have suffered maybe discrimination based on race, gender identity, gender expression, sexual orientation, you know, pretty much all of, based on stuff that they just can't help. So I feel compelled to advocate and, you know, let people know that Salesforce can be a great equalizer and can provide people who want to pull themselves up by their bootstraps and maybe utilize the services of JVS or something in their local community to help them, you know, use Salesforce to get back on their feet.
Yes, that is the powerful, awesome equality for all message that we are so passionate about, especially here at TrailheaDX. We have a lot of amazing equality programming. But let's talk about your personal career path, too. You're not just stopping at certified admin. What's next for you?
Well, my next certification planned is platform app builder. I think that's the next logical thing for me. I don't know if I'm drawn to being an actual coder. TBD, I guess, on that one.
You say that now. I think we have a lot of people here at TDX who are going to help you get over that hump. Well, thank you so much for sharing your amazing, amazing story, John. I mean, it's transformative. I think so many people can see a little bit of what the possibilities are in what you've accomplished. And Katie, wow, thank you so much for all the incredible work you do at JVS, the lives you are transforming. It is a huge deal. Round of applause for JVS and John. So we also have some other amazing Trailblazers to talk to, and don't worry, Kiran's coming back with more. Kiran, over to you.
On that note, we have Matt from Brazil today. Como você está, Matt?
Muito bem, e você?
Awesome, man. So born and brought up in Brazil, where most of the careers are built on non-computing industries. You pursued your bachelor's in computer science at a very young age, which indicates that you wanted to explore something really different, right? What's the story behind it? Because you could have easily been a footballer too, right?
As I wish, as I wish. Well, I guess my father is the one to blame. He always encouraged me to follow my passion for technology. So eventually I became a software engineer. And I remember this former manager, he approached me saying, hey man, you've been doing great with Java and .NET, but do you know how to work with Salesforce? And I said, I know it's a CRM, but I need more time to learn. And he was like, oh great, so you can do it. So I need to learn a lot, and after years and years coding Apex, learning a lot from Trailhead, getting my certification, I recently landed a job as a senior Salesforce developer at Investment, a great company in Atlanta, and I never be happier with my career.
Such an inspirational story. What do you do at your job right now?
To be honest, I've been very vocal about Trailhead in my office right now. There's a Trailhead fever. We've been learning together. Everyone loves it. So we have some sort of healthy competition in the office for badges and points and things like that. Also, one thing that I want to do is use Einstein AI to predict user behaviors, so we can be more proactive. We can provide our customers a much more unique and a better experience.
So tell me this. What is your message for all the aspiring trailblazers around the globe? And how do you look forward to take your success story into Brazil and motivate the community and maybe recreate more mats for us?
That's a very good question. Well, I've been talking to some of young students in Brazil, and for some of them, due to their reality, working for a big company, working with technology, or maybe moving to a different country, that might sound far-fetched and not even possible. But it is possible. Nowadays, with the internet, you have amazing learning platforms such as Trailhead, but you can learn coding skills, you can learn a new language, so it is possible. So my message would be like, keep yourself thirsty for knowledge, and you can change your life and other people's lives.
Thank you so much for being with us today. Passion and emotion behind Matt's success story. Over to you, Gillian.
Thank you, Kiran. And I am here with another incredible trailblazer who is pioneering by really doing some transformative things, Melissa. Melissa, you do some incredible, yes, some cheers for Melissa. All right. So Melissa, you do some incredible things. You are a Salesforce developer. How did you become a Salesforce developer?
Well, my background is more in database administrator work, and so when our organization started the transition into Salesforce, I was really excited because I'd always kind of had in the back of my mind that I'd be interested in coding, but it was difficult to find what that entry point was. And once we got into Salesforce, it became really clear, like, oh, I can kind of just plug into this, and in a context that makes sense for me, which I think was always the missing piece. So I started taking online classes. There were tons of fantastic general learning resources, no Trailhead, sadly. But I had amazing technical mentors, one of whom is here today, and they really helped me along the way so that I could learn the theory and then apply it immediately in Salesforce, learn to start coding triggers and doing cool stuff, and I just loved it.
That's awesome. So self-taught pre-Trailhead days. I feel like we're going to have two different eras. We're going to have like Salesforce pre-Trailhead and Salesforce post-Trailhead, because it's an entirely different world. So you self-taught, you liked tinkering and learning new things, and you had an incredible mentor, which is awesome. He's here today. But let's talk about what you are now doing as a Salesforce developer. I hear you built a pretty cool app. Can you talk to me about that?
Absolutely. So it's our organizer app. So one of the things that Stand for Children does as an education advocacy organization is we have a lot of community organizers. And they're not behind a computer all day, they're out in the community. So they need a tool that makes sense for them, that's quick and easy to learn. So we built a mobile application, and we built it on the Force.com platform with a custom front end, because no Lightning when we started building it. But it's a custom REST API on the back end, and it really allows Salesforce to extend all the way through the organization, be in the hands of organizers out in the field, and really enables them to do the amazing work they need to do, and has transformed our organization, really. It made us a real data-driven organization. It gave us a common definition of what success was. It allowed for performance management, and it allowed us to make decisions based on data and what was really happening in the field.
That is awesome. And so I guess some would say that maybe this is a best-in-class app, and you work in a nonprofit space. I feel like there's more to say about that.
It is definitely a best-in-class app. When people who've worked at other organizations who do similar work get their hands on it, they're super excited. Like, oh my God, it's not a weird database that I don't understand. It's not hard to learn. Like, this is what we do. And so we demo it for a lot of different organizations who are excited to see what we've built on the platform. And one of my favorite things for the organization is that it really gave us an appetite for what technology can do for the organization. It transformed how we think about those tools, and so now the organization as a whole is excited about technology, wants to build cool stuff, and really sees that when you leverage something like Salesforce, you get to build a little bit higher in the stack and get much more, payoff from what we're building with a small team.
That's incredible. I mean, it's so important, especially in a nonprofit space, right? A space that is traditionally not necessarily ones to be excited to build new things on technology. So incredible work there. Let's talk a little bit more about what you do outside of your day job. So you don't just inspire the entire nonprofit community to build amazing apps. You also do something to really enable other app builders to create more trailblazers. And you have this incredible shirt on. I think it says, "Are you rad?" I think we have some rad people in the audience here. And I know we have plenty online. What is RAD?
So RAD Women stands for Radical Apex Developers, and we are an all-volunteer organization, and we work with women who are advanced admins on the platform, who are kind of like where I was, where you're like, maybe I want to learn to start coding. What can I do with the trigger? And so we have a 10-week program that takes them from no code to developing on the platform, working on triggers, and teaches them the basics of coding within the platform that they already know and understand. And there are small groups. We have volunteer coaches who do an amazing job of taking them through the curriculum. And I just love it. I had such amazing support as I was learning how to code. And not everybody can just have that where they are. And so I was so excited to become a part of this and build out that resource for other women so that they have an entry point and can really hook into it and start to understand how to move forward as a developer.
Yeah, I think I've heard so much about RAD Women. I feel like I need to try and start the programming. I mean, I've got my admin skills kind of down, maybe. I feel like Kiran's been pushing me to say he's going to teach me how to write a trigger. Yeah, you heard that, Kiran. So I'm really excited about this. How does one get involved with RAD?
Well, you should definitely check out our website. We're a little bit in process with that, but radwomen.org, and mostly in the success community right now. So we have a couple different groups. There's a public group you can join, and that's where we make all the announcements for our upcoming rounds, because we tend to do 2 to 3 rounds per year.
2 to 3 rounds per year. RAD Women, an amazing thing to get organized and really enable people who aren't traditionally technologists. Again, this is like your sweet spot, huh? Really enable them to not just be technologists, but really be developers. I mean, that's what's really cool, is you're kind of taking this to a whole nother level. So, gosh, Melissa, amazing work. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, speaking of amazing work, we have something very special happening at TrailheaDX this year. And we actually have a foundation partner called Girls Who Code. Any Girls Who Code fans in the house? Yeah? All right. So Girls Who Code are actually 7th and 8th grade women who are in a summer program to learn how to code. And they are in the middle of their program right now. We also happen to have this little party called TrailheaDX happening. So we've invited them to the party. They have partnered with us, and they are actually walking around wearing these shirts. Yeah, Melissa, would you mind helping me? So they're wearing these bright blue Astro shirts. They're very cool. And they are going to be walking around TrailheaDX the next 2 days with iPads. Talk to them. Their job is actually here to interview you to find out what it's like to be in a technology job. So take a few minutes, consider it your giving back. This is really what Salesforce core value is all about. Talk to them, tell them about your path. Melissa, I know you're going to talk to probably all of them, so if they're watching, talk to Melissa. And I can call out some other people I see here as well. But yeah, so talk to them. Doesn't matter what path you're at, where you're actually doing involved with the Salesforce platform, take a few minutes and talk to the Girls Who Code, because they're really awesome. Cool, so this has been an incredible pre-show. We have a lot of Trailblazers who are doing amazing things. But that's not all. We have so much more amazing content to talk to you about. And we're going to just talk to you about a little bit more. So I'm going to actually call somebody up on the spot. Joshua Hoskins, come here. So Joshua, you are a world traveler. You are well known in the Salesforce community. I think everyone from every part of the global viewing parties probably has seen you in person. I just want to learn a little bit more about you in terms of, we know you're amazing in terms of Salesforce. What are you doing about and what are you passionate about in the community these days?
Yeah, thanks. So in terms of my passion, it's really about traveling and giving the knowledge and allowing other people to take the vision and take the mission of community to their own communities, whether it be at home or at school, and really giving people the tools and the technology and also the wisdom to be able to continue that message.
That is awesome. Well, we totally appreciate everything you do in the community. I kind of just shamelessly pulled you up here because I know everybody knows you. So shout out to Joshua. Thank you for joining us. We have an incredible vibe here. We have an incredible group of people. We're talking about amazing trailblazers who pioneer, and we're going to learn more about how you can actually do that. But before we get there, we have to do something that we do at every Salesforce presentation, the forward-looking statements. Yeah. So this is just a reminder to only make purchasing decisions based on currently available features and functionality. Talk about all the cool stuff. Just remember this. Now for the really fun part. from my very own hometown of San Francisco, one of the most fun bands to see live. Please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Cambria.
Stepped up, then I sprang top, and so high was the one I saw. Good she was rocking and just dropping was every job. See, I had to get close, cause she was working like a 9 to 5, yeah. She took me right by the hand and said, baby, are you ready to fly? I'm ready to lift up. Till the sky comes falling down, I wanna lift up. Until the sun comes back around, oh, yeah, lift up. Until the wind without a bound, I wanna lift up. Right from here to higher ground, baby. See, nothing here can hold my spirit down. Oh no. Oh no. Alright. Salesforce, lift up. Sometimes it don't matter what you're going through, yeah. As long as you know just where you're going to. See, I wanna fly high, so I'm willing to sacrifice, yeah. Everything I used to be to make it into paradise. I wanna lift up until the sky comes falling down. I wanna lift up until the sun comes back around. Oh, yeah. Lift up, yeah. Until the wind without a bound. I wanna lift up away from here to higher ground, yeah. Nothing here can hold my spirit way. Hey, alright. Hit me with your love one more time. Keep it running back for more. Keep it running. 1, 2 times. 3 times. Send me right up on my way, yeah, on my way. Just lift up until the sky comes falling down. I wanna lift up till the sun comes back around. Oh, yeah, lift up, yeah. Till the wind without a bound. I wanna lift up, yeah. Away from here to higher ground. Lift up, lift up. Till the sun comes back around. Yeah, lift up. Until the wind without a bound, I wanna lift up. Away from here to higher ground, baby. So nothing here can hold my spirit down. No. I hope it's not against the rules for y'all to stand up, clap your hands, get involved a little bit, a little bit. I said that I can smell your nature in the air. Come on, yeah. The sweet liberation that you wear. And I just got to say, namaste, namaste. Pretty lady, I'll be headed your way. 'Cause I didn't imagine the law of attraction in play. While we're riding on the wings of love, yeah. Riding on the wings of love, flying high in love and the rush, yeah. Riding on the wings of love, hit me. Oh, yeah. Somebody make some noise for the Brio brass section, y'all. I wanna look into the windows, yeah, of your soul. And take a dive inside the rivers of gold. Yeah, I'm told If it's all right with you, we'd like to do one more. One more. Hey. Once again, in case you didn't know, we are Cambria here from San Francisco, California. Thank you for having us here to say. Yeah. When you step into the light, you can begin, baby, begin to take flight. Yeah, so give it yourself a chance. When love is calling you, dance, 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 dance. Maybe this is our destiny, 'cause you next to me, it's like ecstasy. Right now, no other thing I'd rather see. Can you find free? So be ready when the sun goes down, goes down. We're gonna get down, 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 down. When the sun goes down, goes down. We're gonna get down, 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 down. When the sun goes Tell me how long will it take now? Say that the magic is right in front of your face. So give it yourself a chance when love is calling you. Just dance, 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 dance. We'll be rocking through infinity, bringing fantasies to reality. Somehow, we're the only thing that matters now. Living young and wild. Every time the sun goes down, we're gonna get down, 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 down. When the sun goes down, goes down, 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 down. When the sun goes, I don't know who and what we are waiting for. I know, all I know is tonight I can't ignore. No way you make me feel the fire in your eyes. Your lips are made to kill. With you, I'm ready to die. Every time the sun goes down. Let's make some noise. The Mark is on the saxophone. Sun goes down. Gonna get down, 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 down. When the sun goes down, yeah, goes down. We're gonna get down, 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 down. When the sun goes down, goes down. We're gonna get down, 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 down. When the sun goes down, goes down. We're gonna get down, 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 down. When the sun. Thank you so much. We are Cambria. We love you, San Francisco. We love you, Salesforce.